Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jerry. Good morning. Good morning, Chloe. Good morning, good morning. Go and invite your friends and invite them to join us. And also get your laptop ready, get your internet ready, get your tablet ready, because we'll be starting very soon. All right. So how many of us were able to finish the game from last week? How many of us were able to finish our game from last week class?
I've done mine.
Nella, you did yours. Great. All right. What up, Derek? Did Derek join us last week? Derek, did you join us last week? I don't think so. Um, all right. I attended. Were you able to make your game from last week? Were you able to show your game from last week?
So are you able to do your own?
Yes.
All right. So none of you shared it on the group. I would expect that you share it on Telegram so that we can as well play and see, okay, the highest score would get a new game. All right, now we'll wait like 1 more minute for others to join us, then we'll end.
Miss Dami,
Yes, Daniela.
I want to ask a question.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
How can we download our games?
How can you download the game? For now, you have to like play it online. So you can only like play the game online. It's an online game. You know, there's a difference between like downloading the game on your phone and just playing it online. So with code.org, yes, you can play the game online, right? But don't worry, in some of our other classes, like as we're learning now, there's one of our classes that will be able to create a game where you can download to your phone, right? Where you can download to your phone, and that will be using like other tools that I'll be teaching you, right? So yeah, so this particular game you can only play it online. I'll be teaching you, okay, the how to like create a game where you can download to your phones or even like upload to Play Store for other people to download as well, right? So we'll be doing that in like later classes when we get all the basics right.
I'm excited.
Yes, I am as well. Yeah, it's actually really exciting to have your game where everybody can download your game and start playing. Yeah, so we'll do that in further in like other classes, like once the once the time comes. So just get the basics now and equip yourself with the basics because it's the same logic, it's the same type of like critical thinking that would help you in creating those other type of games. All right, yes, so are we ready? Have we plugged our laptop? All right, so let's plug our laptops. Let's plug our laptops and open code.org. Code.org. Code.org, everybody. Let's open code.org. All right, Derek, so you're opening it. Victor, Fiona, Zoe. So are you opening it already?
Yes.
All right, good. Yes, ma'am. Good, good, good. So code.org. Code.org. All right, so same way we went last week. All right, let me share my screen so you all can see. All right, taking a while for code.org to load. The same way we did last week, went to our code. All right, I'll just show us the steps. Yes, I want my site to load, then I'll share my screen. Still not going.
What do you want to write down? Can she hear me? Yes.
All right, yes, so we're creating another game. All right, let me share my screen. I don't know why I can't.
Okay.
Taking forever to load. I'm wondering why.
God is walking.
All right, so if you want to say something, if you want me to unmute you, you just raise your hands, then I'll unmute you myself. So I don't want people disturbing the class. All right, so click on course catalog. All right, so once you're there, next thing you need to go to from what I shared in last week's class is to scroll down to where you have hour of code, to where you have hour of code. Then you see view more. Are we there? Hour of code, then click on view more. Click on view more. Yes, so we want to explore some like different hour of code activities. So if you're here, just scroll down. Scroll down, you will see like different ones. So if you remember from last week, what we did in last week's class, so we worked on Flappy code. Worked on Flappy code in last week's class. So today we'll be working on another one. All right. We'll be working on another one. So before I go to the other one, I have to do a quick revision on like what we did from last week. All right. So I want to be sure we understood like everything we worked on last week. All right, so I would ask someone to tell me the answers or like how to create the project we did last week. All right, before we then start out the new project we'll be working on today. All right, I don't know who wants to help out with this. Okay, let me start with Kemiola. All right, Kemiola, are you there? So I'm going to unmute you now. All right, so you can unmute yourself, Kemiola. All right, good. All right, so this is what I did we worked on last week. So I'm just going to, so I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions before I move to the next person. All right, so this is the Flappy Bird project. So tell me like the codes that I should use on this particular thing. Okay, so when I click on when run, what is the first thing I need to do?
Flap a normal amount.
Flap a normal amount, okay. Yes, what else? When I run this project, what else should I do?
That is all.
Are you sure? When run?
Yes.
No. All right. So from what we did last week, from when run, flap a normal amount, play your wings down, right? You also need to set our scene to whether night or day or so. We also need to set our speed. We also need to set our player, and then we also need to set the obstacle. Even flap a normal amount comes when clicked, not when run. So when run sets the initial, what's it called now? All the initial properties for the game, right? Like your background, like your speed, like the player you want to see, like the obstacle you want to have on your game, right? So that's what happens. That's what you need to set when you click on when run, right? So so you created this game yourself. I'm not sure why you forgotten like all the steps you did, because you're supposed to have done this over and over again while creating your game. All right. So and that's why I decided to do a quick revision, because I know some of us might have forgotten what we did last week. Okay, um so when click, that's when flap a normal amount comes, then play your wings down, all right? And play your wings down. Then when I hit the ground, what will happen? Who wants to help me? Zoe, are you there? All right, let me unmute you. Let me unmute you. I'm trying to mute right now. I'm not seeing the nothing. All right, Zoe, you can unmute yourself. All right, good. All right, so tell me, like when I hit an obstacle or when I hit the ground first. So when I hit the ground, what should happen?
End game.
End game, absolutely correct. End game. Okay, so when I hit an obstacle, what should happen? When I hit an obstacle, what should happen?
End game.
End game, good. So what other option do we have for like when I hit an obstacle? You know, we have two options. You can either use end game or you can use another one. What's the other one?
Score a point.
No. Think again. So when I hit an obstacle, you can score a point when you hit an obstacle. Right? So when I hit an obstacle, apart from end game, there's another option we had. Okay, if you don't want to keep ending the game, like every time the person hits an obstacle, what other thing can you do?
Set seed.
No. All right, so let me help you out. So we said it's either you use end game or you use set score to 0, right? Either you use end game or you use set score to 0. So when I hit an obstacle, instead of it telling me, oh, game over, right, I can just take the player score back to 0. Right, so the person will continue from 0 all over and start again until he hits an obstacle, right? So set score to 0 was the other option we had, right? When I hit an obstacle. Okay, so the last one, when I pass an obstacle, what should happen? When I pass an obstacle, what should happen? When I pass an obstacle,
Points.
score a point. Absolutely correct. Score a point. All right, so let's take note of all of this that was done. So when run, the first thing I do is I set my scene. All right, you can choose any scene you want. All right, any scene that you want. You can set your speed, the speed of the game. You can also set the player that you want. All right, then you can set the obstacle you want. If you want a pipe or any other obstacle, there's one thing. Yes, you need to set the gap you want between your obstacle. You need to set the gap you want between your obstacle, between your pipes. So when clicked, what else should happen? You can flap a normal amount. You can play your wing sound, right? What other thing? Yes, so when I hit the ground, end game. When I hit an obstacle, you can also end game. That means game over. Or you can set the score to 0. Then when I pass an obstacle, yes, score a point. And also we can do one more thing. We can change the background whenever I score a point. Whenever I score a point. All right, so let's run the game and see how it looks. Let's run the game and see how it looks. So you can also see my. All right. All right, so this is what the game looks like for those of us that were here last week. So you have to click and make sure you don't touch the obstacle. All right, make sure you find your way within, in between. Try not to touch the obstacle. Try not to touch the obstacle, right? And try to move in between them and then score a point. All right, so for score a point, it's supposed to change my scene. So I'm not seeing it changing my scene when I pass an obstacle. So let's try again. All right, my scene is changing. So this was the game we created last week for those boys that were here. and we asked people to create your game and then share it with your friends, and then take a screenshot of what your highest score was. All right, so who had the highest score? So when you were playing, you can just drop it in the chat. What was your score? What was your score after you finished playing? So what was your score? I would like to know. So my highest score so far is about 6. So what was your score? Just drop it for me in the chat. What was your highest score? What was your highest score? Drop it in the chat section. What your highest score was. All right, so that's for the first project that we created. Last
was Melody.
Victor had 12. Very good. Victor had 12. That's wonderful.
Is not.
Well,
What was
had
yours?
9. All right, Teminola, what was your highest score? What was your highest
Did you
score?
see?
No, I got everything. Everything. I got everything.
Teminola, what was your highest score?
The highest score.
Yes.
My highest score was 8.
All right, so just type it in the chat section. What was the highest score? What was the highest score? So I'm still waiting. Anyone? All right, so let me see. Melody's score was 8. Amazing. Teminola, I've not seen your score. Derek, I've not seen your score. All right, so let's continue from today's lesson. All right, so let's go back to our code.org main page. Let's go back to our code.org main page. All right, so it's system is started again. All right, so if we remember what I said you should click on before. All right, so I said from this code.org page that you were in before, click on projects. Projects at the top here. So click on projects. So once you click on projects, you will see different projects right here. So we want to start a new project. So you'd see this view full list. View full list. view full list. All right, view full list. So click on that, view full list. Yes, so you will see different projects here. So click on Play Lab. Play Lab. Are we following? Play Lab. All right, so there's a particular one I want us to click on. Play Lab option. All right, so are we all here? I want to be sure we're all here.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yes. So want to create a particular type of game. So we need to, right? So I'm just trying to find out, okay, what. All right. So let's click on Play Lab.
Click on what? Ask now.
Click on what?
Play Lab. Play Lab. Play Lab. PLAYLAB. So we should be seeing this right now. So we should be seeing this right now. All right, so are we all here now? Are we all here? I don't want to be faster than anybody because I want us to be moving at the same pace. All right, good. So, so the first thing we want to do, right? All right, so that is in
We should go.
order. So the first thing we want to do is to look at the game call, right? So and like add a set a score to our game. All right. So set a score. To set score zero. I will here. So click on game/score. Game/score. All right. You see set score 0. Set score to 0. So just drag and put it under your menu.
Were you able to do it?
Put it under
Oh,
your
you're still doing
No.
click on game/score. Click on set score and just drag that under your window.
Where should I go?
So you see immediately that you have your score. All right.
Where should I go to?
Um, where you are, asking that question. All right. So when you've opened your PlayLab project, click on game/score. Game/score.
it.
And drag out set score.
No.
Maybe you are muted.
You're
I'm unmuted.
dragging out your set score into your window.
And she's low. Why did you reduce the voice? Stop it!
All right. So how many of us have been able to get here? Good. Who else? Who else? How many of us are here?
Me.
Not here. Have you done this?
No, ma.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
After play lab is what, ma?
After you click on Play Lab, you'll be seeing this. Can you see this right now?
Yes, ma.
All right. So go to game/score. Game/score. I'm still sharing my screen, right? I want to be sure I'm still sharing my screen. Oh, okay.
Yeah, very.
All right, so we're seeing my screen. All right. All right, so once you are here, go to game/score. Then you see set score to 0. Set score 0. So you need to drag that out. Drag it out and put it under when run. Drag it out and put it under when run, just like I did here. All right. So when you do that, you notice that when I click on run, I'll see my score set to 0. My score would be what? Set to 0. Right. So that's the first step in creating this next game I want to create. So see, our score has been set to what? To 0. So is anyone lost? Have we been able to do that? Have we been able to do that, everybody? So I'm taking today's class step by step because I don't want anybody to miss out on anything. All right. So I'm taking today's program step by step. I don't want us to miss out on anything. All right. So let me see. All right. So what else? What next? Now let's create our characters. All right. So the characters that are going to be on the project. All right. So let's go to actions. All right. So let's go to actions. Actions. All right. Actions. Are we there? Then set actor. Set actor. You just drag it down. All right. So once you set an actor, okay, which actor do we want? All right. So let's choose an alien. An alien. Let's choose an alien. So you can set, okay, how many aliens do you want? For now, I'll leave it at 1. Let's run it. Right, so we can see our alien coming onto our game, right? You can also choose and change the actor. Okay, I want a robot. I want a robot. Right, you see here that we have a robot instead. But right now, what we want to use is what? An alien. An alien. So, alien or a zombie. All right. So you can also set the size. All right. You can also set the size of your actor. So let's just look for it. Let's set actor size. So we want to change the size to 0.5. Yeah. So here we have our actor. We have our zombie. All right. And I